But I guess to your point, I don't have any black friends. I have some friends who are people of color, but you know, it's
Moment of silence for none of Idubbbz black friends.
Look at her face, dude. Look at how mad she is.
So I saw the apology, watched the whole video, and I texted both Alex and my editor, and I said, this is the best of them I've seen. As far as apology videos and seeing content creators throughout the years and actors, famous people, public figures make apologies, I thought it was the most accountable I've ever seen it be.
This guy looks, I mean, he looks terrified. Ian looks terrified.
Yes.
This is crazy. I never got to this part in the video. He looks.
You never actually got to the interview part?
He looks scared.
Yes, he does.
Well, he's like the guy
I
in
want
the
to give
trial.
you all the credit for that.
That's great to hear. I mean, for me, it's been a huge relief because I think for me, it's like, you know, even though I was taking a stance on, you know, using slurs and, you know, being very like just not wanting to be responsible for how other people felt. Me existing in the world and, you know, trying to, you know, live outside of my bedroom at home. I found it to be very challenging to interact with people without feeling some amount of guilt of like, have you seen my videos? You know, how would you interpret what I've said? And, you know, how uncomfortable have I made you? And it, you know, it interaction after interaction, it kind of added up to me saying like, yeah, something needs to be said. At least.
And I feel that, and I understand that, and I very much so am glad that you at least even came to that spot, because that's more than most ever do. But what I guess I wonder is, why not then? Because a trend I've realized very often, I see this in the space a lot, is a tendency for, you know, white content creators to be called out for things present day that were racist and bigoted then. But there were always black people and people present and marginalized people telling them that then. Why not hear it when they say it?
I'm dying to know who the people are that he talked to that gave him the impression what he did was racist. So that'd be a follow-up that I would have.
I mean, I'm sure lots of people would say using the N-word is racist. Like, I don't think that's, you know, it's not like a stretch, right?
Well, the one thing he mentioned in the apology video was he said he talked to someone who was trans, and they said, hey, I know, like, I'm trans and I know that you might not like me, but can we get a picture or something like that?
Oh,
that was
really?
the one interaction he talked about. Yeah. So if he had a bunch of interactions like that, I mean, he was a pretty well known. It's conceivable he could have had, you know, a dozen interactions like that or something. I could see how it would happen.
I don't. Yeah.
Did Idubbbz ever have like anti-trans?
Yeah, that's.
content?
I'm confused. This is the thing. I don't.
About it at all.
I don't know if
think
those
so.
interactions are based on his actual content or people lying about his content and
That's what I was
creating a
just gonna
reputation.
say.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like that's not his fault that other
So,
people
like,
are lying about him.
That trans person probably heard from people, oh, Idubbbz, you know, the racist bigot or whatever.
Yeah.
And that person was probably like, hey, you probably don't like, you know, trans people, but... And I could see why that upset him. Like, absolutely. And I guess, I don't know, he just felt...
Yeah, but
really
the old lays of the world are the ones that are responsible for that.
Exactly. They lie about his content, make him seem worse than he ever was. And I think that just got to his head as well. I'm sure he reads things about him. I'm sure like these people come to him on Twitter like, hey, this you, buddy? Or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm sure that like gets to him at a point. Like it gets to me at sometimes like years ago. People were like, ain't this you? Ain't this you? And then you have this urge to like apologize.
Right.
And thank God I never fucking did. But you get like this, you do feel bad and you're like, oh my God, did I hurt people? Like, did I do damage? I remember when like Trump won. That was a big like, oh fuck, is this my fault?
Stu on ahead made Donald Trump win.
Oh fuck, is this Gamergate? And then you just kind of snap out of it. You're like, wait, no, I'm just saying my own fucking opinions on the internet.
Right.
Like Oh, I'm sorry.
Which side of the, like, I remember Lacey Green made a video when Trump won that was just very sincere about how devastated she was. And I'm curious if you were on the make fun of Lacey Green side or if you were on the I'm as devastated as Lacey
Oh
Green.
no, I
Yeah.
was on the make fun of Lacey Green side. I
Okay.
I literally said that's democracy, sweetie. Like I was so fucking
Oh,
mean.
wow. Wow.
That's so passive aggressive and shitty.
Wow. Okay.
Perfect.
Interesting. Yeah.
Did you have the nails emoji?
Basically, it was like, yeah. But
Yeah, I was not terrified of Trump winning because I never had TDS. So I actually won a bunch of money on election night and was surprised as hell. So
I won money and was not surprised.
Oh, I was surprised. I didn't like either of them. I thought Trump was funny and like had some good points, telling it like it is, or whatever the fuck.
yeah.
But like I didn't vote. I voted in the primaries, but I didn't vote in the general. But I was so
Based.
shocked that Trump won because if you look around everywhere, TV, like magazines, like everything, like you were sure Hillary was gonna win. And then
Of course. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what everyone said. Yeah. But it's interesting because you're talking about how with the trans person with Idubbbz, like I don't remember him ever making any content talking
No, me
anything
neither.
about trans people, and yet this person has an opinion of him. And it's funny because literally, like Olay said this to Idubbbz in this conversation, where she's like, "Oh, I don't know anything about you. My friend told me that you used to be edgy," and I said, "Oh, does that mean that he was racist?"
And the friend
It's
said
like
yes.
that's where her mind goes. Edgy automatically means you're just a racist bigot.
Yeah.
Edgy also means like right wing online for some reason.
Yes.
If you're funny at all, you're like lumped into the right wing content creator for some
Right.
reason. And it's so weird. It's just such a weird phenomenon. Like H3H3 was lumped into that, and like you watch his old content, it was just kind of like social commentary from a very, very like average liberal
90s liberal
perspective.
take, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he's lumped into the right wing thing, and I guess so is Idubbbz, so is all these people, or Joji or whatever. Like it's
That is
really
directly the opposite of the way it used to be because the right was the moral majority, like the stodgy Christian uptight.
Right.
Yeah, and
Well, and it's funny-
the left was always the comedy, the funny people.
Yeah, like
Part
Carlin.
of Idubbbz's content comp against Leafy and Keemstar were that they were bullies. And
Right.
I think part of his content comp against Rice Gum was that he thought he was racist or something, or sexist. And it's just like, so just the idea that he's like this, bigot back in the day is just
I wonder,
preposterous.
like, when is the last time Idubbbz actually watched his old content? Like, has
he's
he
been
actually...
gaslighted into believing this.
Yeah,
Maybe.
because it really was not like, yeah, he was saying like the slurs and whatever, and I
He
understand.
didn't even say the N word
apologizing
that
for
many
that.
times. He said
Right,
it like a
I know,
handful of
and
times.
it's so exaggerated,
Yeah.
and I get apologizing for that. That's fine, but this self-flagellation apology tour saying context doesn't matter, it's all very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I
it
think
is.
he had some experience. I think he talked about where like someone came up to him and they were like saying the N word to him, and he was like, "Why are you doing this? Like, don't do this to me." And I think that kind
Right.
of turned him off, which I could, again, I can understand. But as you said, like this is just so over exaggerated.
Yeah.
I think generally, I think for me it was, I think a sort of a policy or like a just very black and white thinking. Like as soon as because for me, I think it's about caring about how other people are feeling. Period. Not necessarily just marginalized people. I think I personally had an issue with like caring about people's feelings at all, because I felt like as soon as I would open that door, then like I felt like I would be a lot less safe to do and say whatever I wanted. And now that's kind of like an in, I guess, for people to criticize, or an in for people to because I'm essentially exposing myself as like, oh, I'm now thinking about how other people are feeling, but I guess to your point, I don't have any black friends. I have some friends who are people of color, but it's
Moment of silence for none of Idubbbz black friends.
So is this
Oh
is
my
this the
fucking
move?
god! I
Because
can't believe you said that. It's so funny.
it's like when you say like I have black friends, that means you're racist, right? So if you say I
Right.
don't have any black friends,
That means you're twice as racist.
Look at her face, dude. Look at how mad she is.
It's so funny.
Oh my fucking god.
Right
That
now
is
she's
so
thinking, we're not
funny.
friends? You bastard.
It's never. I grew up in Southern California,
Yeah.
and
No black people there.
It's such bullshit. I live in Southern California. What is he talking about? That's ridiculous.
I'm certain if I grew up around more black people, I wouldn't have felt nearly as comfortable saying
where-
the
Okay,
things that I
first
was
of all,
saying.
I've got to shut this down
Where-
completely, okay? I went to an all-black middle and high school. You were encouraged to use it. Using the word was a sign of fitting in and not being racist. It was a sign of being a part of the culture. What are you
Right.
talking about, dude?
It's the exact opposite of what he's saying. Yeah.
It's the exact opposite. That's one
Right.
thing that frustrates me so much is like, you could find to be using the word back in the day, but it's because I had a bunch of black friends because all my friends were black.
There you go. So
That's
you're
why I use the
saying
word.
Are you saying that out there somewhere there's a video of young Doomer just spouting off with the N-word left and right?
Where's
Could be.
where's-
Could be.
Where's Idubbbz from? Is he like from Beverly Hills or something? I just like the idea that there's no black people in Southern California. It's kind of throwing me for a loop.
Mm.
Where do you live, man?
Yeah.
And I think the more interactions that I've had with black content creators, and just regular everyday people, the
Yeah.
more I've realized like this matters.
Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.